What happens in movies that never happens in real life? Being able to hear after hundreds of gunshots in a small room. Never setting a time for things. Want to go out Friday? Yeah. Great, see you then. Bye. No one has to wait for anything. People phone or email back in time. Taxis arrive. The results come back in time to catch the bad guys. Even the coffee is ready to go. Want an ugly man for the plot? No problem. Cast an ugly man. Want an ugly woman? Cast a smoking hot woman. Just give her baggy clothes and glasses. If a girl is arguing with you in real life, and you kiss her in an attempt to stop her from yelling, she'll most likely not appreciate it. Someone who has been bedridden for months, like in a coma, gets out of bed and starts walking around, or even running. Muscles would be atrophied in real life. When any main character makes a rousing motivational speech or vocalizes a philosophical view, and then suddenly their entire target audience subscribes 100% to their beliefs or motives without question. Cars exploding. Cars can catch fire. It can happen very quickly and they burn very intensely, but they don't explode. 2 things. 1. Bananas are always pristine, even when walking into the kitchen after being away for a month. 2. Someone being stabbed, shot, and beaten to within an inch of their life are always 100% within a very short, superhuman, amount of time. Infinitely high-resolution video. Freeze. Now zoom in on Quadrant 3 and enhance. Great. Now zoom in on Sector 19 and enhance. There, reflected in the victim's eye is the face of our suspect. That's just not how anything works. One I never see mentioned. Whenever people play something back, be it a tape recorder, video recording, or whatever, they can always fast forward or rewind to exactly the point they want, with perfect accuracy. Stalkers, obsessed people end up happily with their target. The lack of considerable paperwork from any police action movie. In real life, if the car doesn't start first time, it won't start in time. Perfect conversations without any stuttering, poor grammar or poor vocabulary. No one talking over another person either. Corrupt politicians get punished. After sex, no one has the need to wipe. Expositional dialogue. Hello, person who is my sister. Remember how our parents died in a car crash, leaving us both orphaned at a young age? The guy manages to stop a plane about to take off on the runway, because he changed his mind about the girl that's sitting inside the plane, and he actually does want to marry her. People that want to fuck straight after a traumatic event. No one says bye on the phone in movies. In real life, everyone says bye about 3x. Bye. CYA, take care. Okay, bye. People who have completely different objectives in life, beliefs, backgrounds and personalities living happily ever after. I love this question. I have a ton of petty qualms. Women emerge from the shower dewy and glowing with perfect damp hair. I want red-faced seaweed hair post-shower goblin representation. People immediately going to sleep after sex. Clean up. Go pee. Do you want to sleep in a gross wet spot and wake up with a UTI? Also, women waking up wearing wired cup bras. No one in their right mind would sleep like this. Usually when a movie shows a text message, it's in all caps and with really outdated shorthand and as if contacts do not exist. It's Amy. Where are you? Had 2 bounce. See ya L8R. If one of my friends texted me like this, I would assume they were held hostage by a movie producer in his 60s writing a script for young people. Lastly, this isn't a movie, but it's my favorite bit of fictional magic. In Law and Order SVU, when the detectives are questioning bartenders, shopkeepers, etc. about a missing person, they always have a wealth of information. Girl with blonde hair and brown eyes, about 5'4". Yeah, I saw her Friday night. She seemed depressed. Ordered 2 martinis then left. Said something about meeting a guy. Something felt off about her. It's NYC. If I showed up to a bar wearing a dinosaur suit with mayo-filled water guns, the bartenders would still have no clue. One line of dialogue changes everything and makes it all okay. The good guy gets away with torture, abduction, murder, mass destruction as soon as everybody understands his good intentions. In real life, a crime is a crime. The main character and his or her family live in a big, very expensive, perfectly decorated house. No clutter. No mess. Immaculate yard. I can't kill you. I'd be just like you. What the hell? You mowed through like 50 of my guys on the way here. What? My henchmen? They were people that you killed without a second thought. Well, you've killed more. Dude, I push drugs. I haven't killed anyone. Silence. In movies, when a woman's water breaks, she is rushed to the hospital and immediately starts pushing. In real life, there is typically many hours between the water breaking and active pushing. I remember my aunt was in labor for like 30 hours with my cousin. Don't really think this is what you meant, haha, but it is what came to mind, rolling on the floor laughing. When the popular hot cheerleader gal dumps her hot popular quarterback boyfriend for some ugly unpopular loser nerd. It's more unrealistic than sci-fi, but still so ubiquitous in rom-coms. No matter what tough physical challenges they go through, women always have good makeup and clean hair. Successful CPR. Montages with 80s music. Dropping luggage and running through an airport to tell someone you want them to come with you. I once walked away from my diaper bag at the airport in Atlanta because my son was fussy and I was walking him around bouncing him to calm him down. I had to show ID and get lectured at the security kiosk to get it back because abandoned baggage is perceived as a bomb threat. Mom makes a full spread breakfast and everyone just grabs a piece of toast yelling about how they are late and run out the door. Repeat several times. In real life, that is not happening multiple times. After the first time, the characters are going to run downstairs to find an empty table. Mama ain't gonna keep making all that for you fuckers to waste. Waiting for someone to finish a sentence before talking, even in an argument. People taking it in turns to speak and naturally flowing the conversation from the previous person speaking. This happens a lot in crime shows when several people are explaining how they reached a certain point in solving a crime. In horror movies, people tend to go towards the danger instead of going for help. Never texting vital information, it's always, I have to tell you in person. And they're killed beforehand and there's no proof, or they just leave a voicemail about some vague threat, never just sending a text like, Joe is the killer cooking knife. Being able to afford a big house on a middle-class salary. I've mostly seen this in Hollywood movies. It's baffling to me as an Indian. People making eye contact while driving and talking to the co-passenger. They just casually look away from the road for extended periods of time. How is that possible? Indian traffic is not that forgiving. Open mouth smile. Always finding a parking place right where they need to be. When the main character survives a plane nose diving into the ground, a volcano eruption, 3 asteroid strikes, 67 illnesses, 509 bullet wounds and their lungs full with water, then getting back up and walking off like nothing happened. Every pregnancy delivery is always a natural screaming painful birth. No one ever has a C-section or epidural. In action movies, when PPL casually walking in a room full of dead bodies. In real life, those dead bodies shit themselves and just in general smell unbearably awful. Star-crossed lovers, wind up together, or getting back together if they break up, through a series of amazing coincidences. You can drink a bottle of whiskey, vodka and be stone cold sober after 1 cup of coffee. Every single depiction of high school and college life ever. Everything about it. Then there is also the fact that the students are played by actors in their late 20s. No 15 to 18-year-old looks like the ones in movies. You'd even be hard-pressed to find college students who look like it. Romantic rain kisses generally go a lot worser with the rain wetting everywhere and making it hard to see lol. That people's fists don't look like ground beef after a fistfight. In the next scene they may have a bandage or taped up hands, but their hands look fine. Not bruised, swollen and with broken nails. When there's an amazing badass speech before a battle, all I can think is there's someone back there in this cast army thinking, what the fuck did he say? After relatively short period of time every SHT storm imagine ends and everything reset to the default happy state. Mostly applied at suburban nice neighborhood and New York apartments. Falling asleep after sex. Go pee you disgusting people, or you get UTIs. Kids rushing out and not eating the full cooked breakfast. Or only taking a bite and then rushing out. Or who even cooks a full breakfast on school days when both parents work? When someone needs to buy something but the vendor is nowhere to be seen and they just leave the money on the counter. IRL, you have to wait for the vendor to scan your product. People paying the taxi driver after they get out of the car. I've been waiting to be asked forever, thanks. The protagonist always decides not to kill the villains, just so the villains can come back and try again. In real life it's either kill or get killed the first time, bub. People are up in the morning with enough time to have a home-cooked breakfast, casual family conversation, just relaxing and taking their time. Like on a school day. I've literally never seen or heard someone tell a taxi driver to wait for them after they get dropped off. And I live in New York. People shooting indoors like no tomorrow. I shoot outdoors with in-ear protection and over-ear mufflers and I still develop tinnitus. Eating and going to toilet. I mean, the 24-hour series with Kiefer Sutherland and Mission Impossible movies. It ignores they don't get thirsty, eat and must go to toilet. Gun silencers. They are way louder than you think. Even the movie Heat got that wrong. Tires squeal on dirt road. Small towns are love fests instead of tribal dens of bitter resentment. People randomly walking into someone's house. People flying backwards when shot. This doesn't happen, ever. If the projectile has that much force hitting the target, it would also launch the shooter back as well. Violent interrogations, such as torture. By which I mean, that they actually get reliable information out of it. You don't defib a flatline. It just doesn't happen. A defibrillator is used when the heart goes into VTAC. You're literally refibrillating the heart. People passionately sucking face while opening the door to an apartment, house, slamming into walls and furniture, gradually getting undressed as they make their way towards the bedroom as if two super horny people wouldn't just make a beeline for the bedroom and get it on like normal adults. Villain wastes time instead of killing the protagonist right now. Scary music always tells you when scary things are about to happen. Soft music when good things are happening. I really wish that was in real life too. It'd simplify life. The superhero landing never happens in real life. The way they land on one knee with a fist on the ground and they look up slowly, you'd break your frickin' legs. People just don't talk to each other about what's going on. The craziest shit will happen to a character and the next time they see a person, even if it's a lifelong best friend, they don't say a thing about it. People leaving their cars unlocked with the keys under the visor. The good guy wins. People on a military transport plane being able to hold a conversation at normal speaking volume. Teens sneaking in, out of their windows. I've never seen it happen before, and if this has happened to you, can you please tell me about it? Hero gets knocked out and wakes up an hour later with a slight headache. In real life, if you get hit hard enough to fall unconscious, you aren't getting up for a while. Oh, and also when the mom spends 2 hours making a multiple-course breakfast and the kid just takes a bite of toast and leaves. People waking up in bed and starting to kiss like they don't have morning breath, face with rolling eyes. Can't wait for this to be in a text-to-speech video with a clickbait title. 5 machine guns somehow missing the protagonist in the room. I've never seen giant movie studio logos floating around Earth, or floating in the black void. I've also never seen a yellow text preamble float off into space, informing me of what's happened in the last few weeks. Conflicts get resolved. Waking up well rested. Everyone can simply up and leave their life for a trip, magically already having a passport and money to get a red-eye flight. Thanks for watching. See you later.